2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 5th, 2020 order, imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Sturbridge Planning Board will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information in the general guidelines for remote participation can be found on the town's website at www.sturbridge.gov/town-administrator/pages/how-access-virtual-meeting. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen and/or watch the meeting either online via the town's on-demand video broadcast, on cable television on channel 191, or dial into the meeting at 774-304-1455.
Followed by pound.
Sure.
If you are the meeting host, please enter your PIN.
1438 pound for the meeting number and 12345 for the access code. This phone number is only active for the public during public meetings. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post audio and/or video recordings, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings on the town's website as soon as possible after the meeting. The first item on the agenda will be to accept the minutes of the October 27th meeting. Following that, we have 3 A&Rs, one on Route 15, one at 227 and 229 Podunk Road, and a third one on Cove Drive. At 6:40, we'll have a discussion on the waiver, request for a waiver of site plan of 29/31 Brookfield Road. Following that, we'll have town planner update and all the new business and adjournment. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of October 27th? Do I have any questions, comments, changes? If not, can I have a motion to accept the minutes as submitted?
So moved.
So moved, Russell.
Sue?
Okay, Sue, yes, first motion, and then Russell second. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
Chris?
I'll abstain since I was absent.
Okay, and I vote yes. Okay, very good. The next item on the agenda is the A&R, Route 15 Silver Tree Realty. Jean, do you want to go over that?
I will. If you give me a second, I'll share my screen. I'm not sure if anyone's on the line from Silver Tree, but I will pull up the plan. And so here's the plan for Silver Tree Realty. And this plan shows the division of the land into Lot 101, which has sufficient frontage, and then also Parcel A and Parcel B, which are noted to be conveyed with other abutting land and are not to be considered separate building lots. And it's my understanding talks are underway with the abutting landowner for the potential purchase of the land. So since the plan meets the requirements and has the appropriate notations on the Parcel A and Parcel B, I would recommend that the board endorse the plan as submitted.
Very good. Do we have any questions or comments?
I do. This is Sue.
Yes.
I'm just
Go ahead,
wondering, thank you, Charlie. I'm just wondering where on Route 15 this lot is located.
This is the old farmhouse that's close to the end of Route 15. It was the Puckett property at one point. They're building a couple of new houses in that area right now.
Is that on the right or left going towards Connecticut?
That would be on the right-hand side.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Do we have a motion then to have the clerk sign the A&R approval?
So moved?
Sue?
Second, Chris?
Chris, okay. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Russ? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Very good. Okay, the next A&R is at 227 and 229 Kodunk Road,
Yes.
AH and DB Custom Homes Incorporated.
Yeah, so this is the plan that I just put up on the screen. Actually, Mr. Brunel is on the call this evening, but this is lots 227 and 229, and there are houses being built here. And you'll notice the kind of slight jog in the property line down near Podunk, and this is for improved sight distance, visibility for the driveway that is being constructed. So they have determined when they started doing the work out there that it was very tricky to kind of turn around and see coming out of there. So this little jog will enable better access for the driveway. And the plan does meet the requirements, so I would recommend you endorse the plan submitted.
Very good. Do we have any questions or comments on this A&R? I'm hearing none. Can I have a motion then to to allow the clerk to endorse the A&R?
So moved. Chris?
Chris, very good. Do I have a second?
Second, Mike.
Okay, Mike, thank you. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Okay, Mike?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Very good. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, the next and our last A&R tonight is Cove Drive.
Yeah. So,
Want to put that up and explain?
yes. So Mr. Levesque is actually on the meeting, as well as Mr. Tassi, and he can probably better explain the technical issues if the board has any questions. But basically, we have two parcels here. We have the parcel that was recently purchased by the Tassis to build a single-family home, and we have a property owned by Mr. McGill, and he's currently in the middle of building a garage. Mr. Levesque, and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, was the surveyor, and he found an overlap error with the prior surveys and recorded plans that were done. So this plan is basically a boundary line agreement plan between the McGills and the Tassis, and you'll see that there's a hash-marked piece of land that says to be conveyed to the town of Sturbridge. I have had town council review this plan, and he is recommending that the board endorse the plan that's as submitted. The parcels both will have sufficient frontage, and so it will meet the requirements. If the town chooses to undertake correcting of the layout at a future date, we will have the ability to acquire that land from Mr. McGill to undertake that. And I would say if the board has any questions, I'd probably refer them to Mr. Levesque if it's anything more technical than what I've just explained.
Okay, great. I'll go down and listen. Sue, do you have any questions on this?
No, not currently.
Okay. Dane?
No.
Mike?
No.
Russ?
No, all set.
Okay, Chris?
Nope, I'm all set too.
Okay, and I don't have any questions. Good. Do we then have a motion to allow the clerk to endorse this A&R?
So moved, Russell.
Russ moved. And a second?
Second, Chris.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Russ? Yes. And I vote yes. Very good. Thank you. I almost missed you there, Russ.
Okay, so for
Okay.
everyone on the line with plans, they will be endorsed by the clerk on Thursday, and we will contact you so that you can come in and pick up your Mylars.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda, Gene, is the waiver of site plan request for 29 and 31 Brookfield Road.
Melanie.
That's correct, and Mr. Rufael has just joined us, and this is, I'll put up his plan, and he can explain. Nabil, I have the floor plan up. If you would like to explain to the board what you plan to do on the property, that would
Yeah, sure. We bought this property about a year ago, and we had a couple tenants that were interested in moving in, and when COVID hit, they disappeared. So we thought we can use the space, the two stores. One is 2,500 square feet, and the other one is 3,500 square feet. So we decided to take the 2,500 square feet and set up a pizza restaurant. We own a couple pizza restaurants, and thank God they've been successful. And we decided to carry on and put another one. So basically, this is the plan that you're looking at, is for the layout of the restaurant itself.
Okay.
The part is basically the kitchen and the front where the seating and the restrooms are. And today in the morning, we had a very successful meeting with the conservation in order to allow us to resurface the parking lot and lining it up after we get it all repaved or resurfaced.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Gene, do you want to go over what's happened so far on this?
Yes,
As far as your review?
I will. And so I sent out my report prior to leaving on vacation, and I had at the same time sent it out for staff review. You'll note that there was a discrepancy in the number of seats. So I believe it was the site plan said 50 seats and the application said 40. So we've since found out from the building inspector that if Nabil remains at 50 seats, it changes quite a few things in terms of building code issues. So they're going to stay with the 40 seats as originally proposed. And so Nelson Burlingame, our building inspector, has met with the applicant and requested that they have a Chapter 34 review, which would identify any building issues or changes that need to be made. And he said that they would have to have fire rating between the restaurant and there's an apartment on the second floor. And there are handicap ramps that will serve this property that will be used. And there was a question with the building inspector as to whether the building needed to be sprinkled or not. And so they are working with the applicant and his architects at this time to go through that review process and make a determination. And I apologize if you didn't get these comments. I thought they went out with my report, but it seems like a couple of you did not receive these. And then the only other concerns of the building inspector are that they have the appropriate fire extinguishers, exit signs, emergency lights, and the type of cooking hood should be identified. And then as far as the Conservation Commission, the applicant is scheduled to meet with the Conservation Commission on November 17th for the resurfacing of the parking lot. So they will be resurfacing and restriping this lot. If you had a chance to go out there, you probably noted that the pavement is in pretty tough shape. So that will be resurfaced and the striping will be added back on the way the original site plan that was on file with the town was laid out is the way the striping is shown on this plan that I've just pulled up. And there's also a large gravel, what I'll call overflow parking area in the back that can be used as well. So we don't anticipate any issues with the Conservation Commission approval. They did go out and have their site visit today and no concerns were really noted. The Department of Public Works provided comment Just wondering if there was the need for a new tie-in for drainage onto Route 148, and there's not. And they also question the connections to the water and sewer, and those are existing. There will be the need for a grease trap to be installed, and the applicant is aware of that. So basically, the existing site plan shows 42 parking spaces, and there's also, as I noted, a substantial gravel parking area in the back. So the restaurant would need 25 parking spaces, which would be 1 space per 3 seats and 1 per each employee working on the largest shift. So at peak time, the most employees on site would be 8, and 2 parking spaces are required for the apartment that is already occupied. And that leaves 15 parking spaces plus the gravel overflow area. And there's, at this time, a tenant is not known at this time. They are actively marketing the property. But a retail space would require 18 parking spaces, or an office space, or excuse me, office would require 14 parking spaces. So as I noted, there are 15 paved parking spaces, and then there's the gravel overflow. So there should be plenty of parking on site for this business and a future tenant. So no real concerns were noted by staff, and I would recommend that the board grant the waiver of site plan because there are really no exterior changes other than the resurfacing and the striping that need to be done. And with the understanding, of course, that the applicant must adhere to all state and local zoning bylaws, building codes, and other regulations, and that he obtain all necessary permits and approval, and that all necessary plans and reviews be provided to the building, fire, and health departments for review and approval prior to starting construction. And that is it. I did visit the site with the applicant and with the building inspector, and he has demoed the interior of the property, so he's all ready to go and start construction once he gets those building permits in hand.
Very good. Thank you very much. Sue, do you have any questions or comments?
Yes. First, I want to welcome them to Sturbridge and wish them success. I have a question about the dumpster area in the back and how that is going to be situated, as well as is there a handicap bathroom?
The 2 bathrooms that we have has to be handicap accessible.
Okay, thank you.
The building has a ramp that allow the customers to go up.
Access your building, yes. That's great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And any plans for the dumpster area?
The dumpster is usually it sits in the back away from everybody, and we put it in a way that is facing the street, so the truck that comes in to pick up the dumpster, it just backs up or drive into it, pick it up, and drop it back in its place. And we usually surround that with fencing, so it doesn't look so ugly in front of people.
Oh, good. Okay. I was wondering about the fencing as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be some type of like white fencing?
Yeah, basically they have fences already pretty much ready to install, and we don't make it too tight, so because the truck
can get in there.
Yeah, when he picks up the dumpster and brought it back, he usually need a little bit more room. He's not very keen on doing it right, you know.
Right. Okay. I thank you. Thank you for your input.
Very good. Dane, any questions, comments?
Comment is I'm glad to see an existing building being reused, and I echo Sue's comments to welcome them to the town. And I'm going to thank you, Gene, for your overview that helped me understand what was happening with this project. But I have no comments. I think it was well laid out, and it'll be a good use in this area.
Very good. Thank you. Mike?
No comments or questions, no.
Russ?
Gene, with the additional tenant, would they, if and when they get one, would they have to come for a waiver also, or does this cover?
This should cover it. I think the only thing is I'd ask Nabil to come back in and meet with me so that we can just figure out the parking calculations, and then I can just update the board at our next meeting. Seems,
that was my concern about the parking, so.
right, right.
And I didn't see any area for propane storage, for propane tank. I'm assuming you're not gonna cook with electric.
There is a propane tank already on site, and it is protected by like a cement barrier, so nobody will hit it.
Okay. And my
And
last comment was,
It might be need to be enlarged, but that's about it. But as far as the space or the protection, it's already existing.
and my last comment was, I didn't hear Gene or any response from the fire department regarding a Knox box.
No, we did not get that response in this case. But I did put in my report that all requirements of the building, fire, and health departments would need to be met. So if that is indeed a requirement, he will need to put that.
Thank you. That's all I have, Charlie. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Russ. Chris?
No questions.
Okay, and I don't have any questions. So could I have a motion then to grant the waiver of site plan for this project?
So moved. Sue?
So moved. Second?
Second,
Russell,
Chris.
second.
Russell, second. Okay. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Russ?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with the restaurant.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lots.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the town planner update.
Bear with me, I just lost my update. Okay, so our next meeting date is November 24th, and that is Thanksgiving week. I know the board prefers not to meet that week if we don't need to. So far, it's too late for anybody to apply for a public hearing. The only thing would be if an A&R came in, I would ask that you just have a brief meeting to take care of that. So I'll keep you posted on that. Otherwise, the next meeting would be December 8th. And then just two, I think, really exciting updates. Actually, today we had a staff meeting with two potential, or future applicants, I should say. One for 90 Charlton Road, which is our last priority development site. And that is the piece of property that, it's part of the technology park, but it fronts on Route 20. It's between the entrance to the technology park and the center at Hobbs Brook. And we actually have a proposal for another cold storage warehouse that will be going there. And they have submitted a letter of intent to Mr. Bridges for a TIF, and they are working on their plans. They had conceptual layout, and they are working on having a traffic study done at this time. So I would expect that maybe in December or January, we'll be hearing that application. And then also the former truck stop on Route 20, there's a company called Noble Energy out of Connecticut. And they have that property under agreement, and they are looking to construct it will be really a travel plaza. So they will have a convenience store, and then inside there will be 3 different food services. They have a deli, a breakfast option, and then they also have the Frisbee ice cream chain, which is, I've never seen one, but I guess they have several in Connecticut. And then also, which will be the gas station, and they will have some diesel pumps and I believe 8 parking spaces for tractor trailer trucks, which will be good because it will give another place in town where truck drivers can pull in to get a snack or take a little break or fuel up. And also, as part of this, there will be an electric vehicle service station, and they will actually have a showroom so that people can go in and actually look and see what the electric vehicles look like and how they feel, and potentially in the future, maybe even a demonstration space for electric school buses. And then finally, they'll have a little office on site, a training facility, where they train their management trainees in conjunction with Nichols College. So it looks like a really great project. They're working on a traffic study. They are beginning conversations with Mass DOT, and they're doing study now to see if the warrants will reach the threshold so they can install a traffic light. And they'll be working with the properties across the street there. So I think it's an exciting project. They've done a lot of work on it already, and looking forward to seeing that, hopefully in December or January as well.
That sounds great, Gene. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Is that the whole parcel that
Yes.
where the motel was and everything?
Yep, the entirety. So it would clean up that entirety, and,
Wow.
you know, it would be really nice to see that cleaned up and developed.
That's terrific.
I think it would be a great project for the town. So,
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Very good.
That is all I have.
Okay. Great, Gene. Thank you very much. So the next item is old and new business. I'll go down the list. Sue, do you have any old or new business?
No, I do not.
Okay. Dane?
Nope.
Any old or new business? Okay. Mike?
None, no.
Okay. Russ?
Gene, just a quick question on Sturbridge Isles, how they made out with the pond and all that?
So they are,
Draw down the pond and,
well, they did file with or they will be filing with Conservation Commission. I guess that they've determined that they need to do somewhat of a drawdown, but not a complete drawdown. But it is considered a new impact to the resource area, so they do need to file with Conservation for that. But otherwise, the project is moving along pretty well.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Thank you. Chris? Any old or new business?
Nope, nothing for me.
And I have none either. So with that, I'll just request a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
In a second. I'll second that.
Second, Chris.
Okay, great. Sue, how do you vote?
Okay. Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. I vote yes. Did you get in there with a yes, Russ? I didn't hear you. Did you say yes?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.